Love language number 5. Can you guess? Physical touch. So I think that would be my primary, and it's not sexual. It's just a touch. Some of the examples he gave, at dinner, touching feet under the table, or just a physical touch. I think, uh, I think that's probably my primary love language, to go along with not so much affirmations as far as being told good things, but communication for me. Uh, Someone sharing their feelings, and then probably acts of service. But so I hope this has helped somebody along the way. I hope somebody's got the book, and maybe you've identified what your love language is. You've identified what your partner's love language is. Eh, eh, Again, I don't want to go into a bunch of detail. Get the book. He gives examples of what to do. Set a goal for a month, and to do these things, to see if there's a response, a positive response. Because if it's not that person's love language, physical touch may not be that important to them. Uh, and I can see in past relationships how physical touch wasn't. I can see how quality time was probably one of them's more, uh, their primary love language. Doesn't mean that's your only love language. It's just the primary. It's the main thing that you need to feel loved, to get from your partner. So again, I hope this was helpful. The 5 are, number 1 is affirmations. Number 2 is quality time. Number 3 are gifts, receiving gifts, small gifts, whatever they may be. Number 4 was gifts, service, acts of service, doing things for someone. I don't know. Some of it seems kind of common sense, but the example he gave today was, the man's wife. She wanted him to do laundry, and he goes, "Well, I don't understand how that's an act of love." And he said, "Well, the man's primary love language was physical touch and sex." He goes, "Sex?" I just, and he said, "Well, look at it this way: you doing laundry for her makes her feel like you do when she has sex with you." And he's like, "Oh, wow. Well, I'll do laundry every day then." So it's important to be vulnerable, right? I mean, if you're in a partnership, you got to be vulnerable and share these things with each other. It may take a little time to figure out exactly what your love language is. You have to practice it, do it, and see how it makes you feel. It's being aware. How do I feel when this person does this for me? And it's going to take some work. For me, I have a hard time for some reason with affirmations. I think about it all the time, what I appreciate about someone, but I don't always verbalize it. And I practice this. I practiced it with my daughter the other day. I sent her a couple of texts. She's like, "Are you okay?" Uh, just letting her know that I appreciate her and that I am proud of her. Uh, Even though I don't always say it. So my point is, there might be something that's difficult for you. It might be your partner's love language. Maybe they need affirmation, and it's hard for you to do that because you don't need it. But that's where the change comes in. That's where, when people say, "I am who I am, I'm not going to change," I'm like, well, then I probably won't be a good partner for you, because I need somebody that's going to change and grow with me. Uh, so there's things that you may have to work at if you want to please your partner. If you don't want to please your partner and just be in a so-so relationship or an unhappy relationship, then that's up to you. But I'm assuming that if you're here, that's not you. So, it, be willing to change. Be willing to. One of my favorite sayings is seek to understand. Take yourself out of it. Take what you like, what you prefer, completely out of it, and try to understand why and what the other person wants and prefers. Because that's what makes the world so delicious and wonderful, is that everybody's different, right? Not everybody thinks the way you do. So, not everybody's going to drive the way you do. Not everybody has the same desires as you do. And we have to understand that the sooner that we grasp that and allow other people to have their experiences and we can appreciate them for what they want, what they do, how they think, how they do things. I mean, all the way to the simplest thing is, solving a math problem. I remember my son, he was, uh, he, the way he would come to an answer, and he would talk it out loud. He said, "What?" Because he used to try to help his little sister. He says, "Well, you got to take this and do this, and then you take this number and do that number." I'm like, "Wow, you confused me." But that's how he processed it, and he would come up with the right answer. For someone else, that would be more difficult. So a lot of times we're all seeking the same thing in a relationship. We all want to feel safe and we want to feel loved, but how we feel that is differently, right? If you feel like, okay, if I go to work and I bust my ass and I make money and I pay all the bills, that's showing love. Okay, that might be showing love for you, and your partner may appreciate it, but they might need some quality time and some physical time, hugs and touches and stuff like that. So if you're stuck in that mindset where, well, I don't get it, I work, I hard, that should be enough. Well, you're not taking the blinders off. You're not willing to understand how your partner feels. It says put yourself in their shoes, so to speak, right? Seek to understand. And if you really care about the person, that's the key. Do we really care about these people? Do we really want to know how they feel? Uh, so it takes effort, takes time, takes awareness. Work on it. Uh, give somebody a hug today. I love you guys. See you tomorrow.